our Divi 5 framework has improved. So instead of memorizing the class, you can just start typing. Now, let me show you how that works. So over here, I have a text module. I'm just going to select it. Now, when you come over here now to the Advanced tab, and then you click on your CSS ID and classes. So let's say we want to center that. So all we have to do is to start typing center, and you can see straight away that this is what shows up. And then we can just go ahead and select it. And now it's centered. And if you want to do more to it, you can just add a space. So this time I want to increase the size a little bit. So I'm just going to say text. And you can see here as I'm typing, I'm having all my suggestions here. So I'm going to go with text medium. And then on the bottom here, same thing. Now this, I want this to be a huge heading. So with that selected, I can come over here to the Advanced tab, CSS ID and classes like before. And then in the class, I know it's a heading. So I'm going to start typing heading. Now you can see that the suggestions are now showing that this is a heading. So I can go ahead now and say, for example, let's go with 7 XL. Now, if I want to make it bold, I can say maybe bold, or maybe font 800. I can just type 800. Now you can see straight away, this is my suggestion. I can go ahead and select that. Maybe that's a bit too much. So let's go with 700. Okay. Now with that, I want to add a margin top. So if I add M, you can see my suggestion here is medium, M large. So M is for margin. So I'm going to now go with margin top. So now I got all my suggestions as well. So I'm going to go with small, and then I can go to the bottom one as well, select it, and then over here. Now it doesn't matter what classes I start with. So let's say, for example, I want to start with a margin top of, let's go with small as well. You can see that still works, and then I can start working on my text. So now I'm going to add my custom text size, and I'm going to go with large. You can see there, it's very, very easy to use. Now, let's head over to this blurb right here. So if I select this blurb, again, I'm going to continue and do my suggestions. If I come over here to Advanced, CSS ID and classes. Now you just need to remember what you need to do. So for example here, I need to add a background color, but the background color needs to be gray. So I'm just going to type in gray. Now you can see it's saying text gray, right? So I can now scroll down here and I can start getting my background. So let's go with gray 100. Okay, so I've got my gray now. I can see I need a bit of padding in here. So I'm going to add a space. And for padding, I'm just going to say P, and then I'm just going to say S for small. Now you can see here that when I type in P, it's now suggesting that this is spacing, which is also very good. Okay, and finally, I'm going to add SK so that my text is fluid. Now I want to show you something really exciting as well. So now that my design is complete, I can just duplicate this a few times. Okay, let's try 4. And then I'm going to go into my row settings and then into my column. So this time we're going to use something totally different. So I'm going to click here on my Advanced, CSS ID and classes. And then for my class, I want to add a grid because I don't want to use Flexbox for this. So I'm just going to say grid and select that. Now you can see now it's saying layout for my grid. And when I hit space, I'm going to search for auto because I want my grids to be auto. So I'm going to say grid auto, select that. Now you can see everything is all now selected. I can hit save. Now let's do a quick preview of this design. So now you can see I have my my blurbs and everything is all spaced out correctly. Now I can be specific if I don't want to use grid auto. So I can say grid calls for, so that sets it to 4 columns. So it just depends how you want to lay out your grid. I can go to grid column 2, but I have to delete the column 4 for this to apply. So now I have a a unique grid, which is mobile friendly. The next update that I want to share with you is prior to this update, if you went into your editor, so let's go to our module settings here and go to our design editor. If I went to text and I wanted to maybe choose a color or even font size, you notice that our framework was getting in the way. So it's forcing us to go in and select our framework, but it doesn't even work when I select it. Do you see that? I've gone in and it doesn't work. Even if I go for text size, so for example, I can say text large, it doesn't work. So this was really in the way of the Divi builder, which means that the design experience wasn't really good for someone who wants to use a hybrid of both the class-based design and also sometimes maybe want to come into the design. So all this now has been fixed and we don't have to worry about that. Now let me show you how that is working. So let's say over here I go into my text module. I can easily now go into text and you can see I don't have the classes following me as I'm designing, which is a huge improvement. Okay. Next, I want to talk to you about the updated dashboard. So I'm going to exit from here. In fact, let's exit. Now back over here, you're going to notice we have now SiteKrafter back. So it's right here. If you click on dashboard, we have our dashboard back. We have links, quick links. And if we go to our reference is back and it is much better. All right, so let's say you're designing your website and you want to make a few changes to your text, so you can decide what you need to do here. So first of all, you can choose by just selecting it like that, and then you can just apply it. So let's go back to our editor. So let's get rid of this because it's in our way. Right, so let's say you want to go into advanced, ID and classes. Let's get rid of this and add a new class that we've just copied. Do you see that? You can just paste it and it works. So you can literally come over here, copy all your classes and paste them when you need to. Okay, so that's one update. The next update is multi-select. So if I choose enable multi-select, it means I can now choose whatever I want. So for example, here I've got my text, which is 2XL. So let's search for color. And I'm going to say text color. So I can go back and say text. And then here I've got all the weights. I also have my text colors here. So I'm going to go with my text primary 500. Select that. And you can see it has this blue color. Right now, if I want to make it bold, I can go over here, search for bold, font. There we go. We have our fonts. So I'm going to go with font 700, select that. So now that I have 3 selected, I can come to the bottom here and say copy all. And then on my page, I can go in now. Let's get rid of our 3XL. And then I'm just going to hit a space and paste. So you can see now that is my primary color. It's bold. And pretty much these are the parameters that I've got from my reference. So our reference is working fine here. If I need to clear this, I can just click here on clear and everything is gone. And I can disable this when I need to. Now, here we have the support, we have the community forum, we have the YouTube channel, and then email support, okay? And what else? The style guide, okay? The style guide still works as before. We can use this to preview what our colors are going to look like before we can actually commit them to our style sheet. So everything seems to be working fine so far. The goal of this release was stability. I really wanted this to be stable because all our products from this moment onwards or very soon are going to be based on this platform. It's very easy to use, especially if you're a design agency or you're a freelancer. You are going to be able to design websites really fast with this system. So Once it's fully stable, it's going to be fun because we're going to have a lot of products based on our Divi 5 framework. Let me know if you see any bugs or any issues so that we can fix them before we have the stable version. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Go ahead, if you still haven't purchased SiteKrafter Pro, the link to that is in the video description below. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee, you appreciate my videos, you can go ahead and do that by coming over here to Buy Mac a Coffee. And if you haven't joined the community, head over to diviuniversity.com and join the community. It's absolutely free. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.